Welcome back to Driving Dee Dee.
Hello, everyone.
Everyone, you mean?
The 600 people that subscribe to our channel. We love
Thank you. So hi again from south of Spain, still outside our Airbnb, still on a beautiful sunny day. We thought we'd come inside, and well, we've had a couple of questions recently, haven't we, about specific costs on things.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd take some time to run through the detailed spreadsheet that Courtney and her OCD Ways has put together.
Thank you, James.
So you can kind of get a bit of detail, because our van build is one of the more expensive that we've seen.
We've made peace with it.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And I think one of the things that we've tried to be visible about is like we started with nothing. Like we had a screwdriver. Pretty much it.
Yeah, like when we say we were amateurs, like we were total amateurs.
We had no workshops, no
garage,
no dads that knew DIY or anything like that. So we were literally starting from scratch. So our costs reflect that, we think.
Yeah. And we said at the end of our van tour video that we were quite prepared to put in a significant amount of money that basically reflected what we would want to put into like a house deposit.
Yeah.
So in our minds, when we started off this whole process, we knew that it was going to be a big investment. It was going to be our first home together that we bought and built.
Or at least that's how we justify it anyway.
That's how we justify it to ourselves.
Okay.
So yeah, let's dig right in. So the first cost is obviously the van itself. So she is a 2012 long wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter, and when we bought her she had 140,330 miles on the clock. So the cost of her was £6,360, and that cost included a little bit of like bodywork, I guess you would call it. So the side door didn't close properly, it wasn't fully flush, so they just had to adjust one of the brackets, I think. And then there were a couple of brackets underneath the bonnet because you've got a dent in the bonnet, so a couple of those brackets under there were snapped, so they needed resealing, so they did that within the cost. Then on top of that we then had full service, which was £120, insurance for 12 months for just James on the insurance, who's got, well, at the time had like 12 years of driving experience and was 29 at the time. So that was £449.50 for 12 months.
Fully comp.
Yeah. And then tax for 12 months was £240, and we've included public transport to collect the van from Manchester. So at the time we were living in Leeds, so that was an extra £26.20 on top of that. So the total cost for the van itself, collecting it and making sure it was roadworthy, was £7,195.70.
Just to get that 70 pence in there in case it's important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pennies add up to the pounds, James.
Cut and go.
I'm sure you should be in the theatre business.
Jazz hands.
So the next section is tools and equipment. So we have created a list of everything we could think of that we used. It's probably not everything.
Yeah. All the big things are there, I think.
Yeah, I think all the big things and the things that we used on a daily basis we tried to include, no matter how small the cost was.
Yeah, there's loads in here, but there's stuff that you just don't think about. Like we were like, oh, we'll just need to get some big tools and it'll be a couple £100. But everything really adds up as well.
Yeah, so I was definitely not expecting this cost to be as significant as it is.
Yeah. Like,
brace yourselves. So all of that stuff that we've tracked came to £867.90. Nearly £900 just on tools and equipment. That's a hell of a lot of money. The third section that we've got on this list is materials/timber. So
I'm going down, I'm yelling timber. You
I'm
better
like,
move.
Tone deaf, not joy singing. So within here, we've had to make a few assumptions because we did not track every trip to B&Q where we bought a pack of wood.
Yeah.
Essentially, this includes like the structural 25mm thick chipboard that's on the floor, the timber for the ceiling support, so all of your struts,
Yep. Struts for the walls.
all the tongue and groove, all of the wood for the window frames, all the MDF that
Yep.
clads
All
everything.
this wood as well for the kitchen.
All for the kitchen. It includes like the magnets, the 6 kilogram magnets that are on all of the cupboards, all the drawers and things. It includes like the wardrobe rail, which is just like, I mean, you just don't think about that, but hinges for all the bench tops, the cabinets, and then the fabric as well.
Yep.
And the total was £684.04. Which is not too bad, I don't think. And it's all the wood. Section 4 are our beautiful windows.
Oh, yeah, just looking out one of them actually.
Oh, it's so cringe. Windows, we have a lot of them.
Yes.
We have 5. So obviously 2 on this side, 2 on that side, and then 1 in the sliding door as well. The cost of 5 windows, the bonding kit, window delivery, and then we bought custom made thermal blinds. Do you want to demonstrate one of them, James?
Oh yes.
From Blinds to Go. So they have thermal properties because they are like diamond shaped on the inside, so it basically traps the air. They're blackout. They're amazing. Like one of our favourite things about the van, and it was like one of those last minute purchases. The sliding door window. Oh, a fly just went in my eye.
You have to cut that one. Sorry, my eye now. Where'd it go? What
Back
was
to it. This could be the longest van cost video ever. These people just natter on, jeez.
Right. Total cost.
Total cost, windows and blinds, £885.18.
So next we move on to the insulation and van prep. So one of the really important things when building a van is making sure that it's well insulated, not for just for the cold but also for the heat. We've used different types of insulation, so we used Celotex insulation board, we used thermal fleece, super soft recycled plastic, and this also includes like the foil insulation, which creates some moisture
barrier.
Thank you. And some foil tape. This also includes sound deadener, which is like, it's called rattle trap. So total cost of that is basically £500, £489.80. So next is the cab area. So we originally had 2 passenger chairs and 1 driver's chair from when this was a work van, and we had always wanted to be able to walk from front to back. So took the decision to remove the 2 passenger chairs, and also whilst we did that, change the driver's chair as well to a brand new one. We also put a swivel plate on the passenger seat, which we don't actually use. But yeah, so those were not cheap. This includes also like the delivery and the labour as well, because we got help with it.
And this was right at the end of the build, and to be honest,
We were sick of it.
we were just sick of it. We were like, oh, let's just pay someone to do it.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Little technical difficulty there. The GoPro overheated. Just switch yourself off.
Yeah.
So sorry for a bit darker. Cost.
Yeah. So cost of the driver seats and stuff came to £1,210. That's for 2 brand new seats and a swivel plate and labour and delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the next section, there's only a couple of things in this section, but like external things that we added to the van. So one thing that we definitely knew we wanted was a roof rack for extra storage and to hook our solar panels onto. So we had a custom roof rack made, and that was £1,404 just for the roof rack.
Yep.
Then the other thing that we added, which was just a small cost on top of that, was the C-channel awning rail, and that was £24.50 for 3 metres of awning rail.
So one of the biggest costs in our van probably was the electrics and kind of the main system for the heating and hot water. So the first thing is our Webasto combination water and heating system. Like that was £1,700 by itself.
And that was in the sale.
Yeah, massive cost really.
If you haven't watched our van build video, then the reason that we went for that system was because we don't have gas plumbed into this van.
Yep.
So we didn't have the option of having like a gas or a Truma heater or whatever.
Yep. The Max fan, which we've got up in the ceiling there, that was £279. Our 390 amp hour deep cycle AGM leisure batteries were £335, which is actually quite cheap, I think. 300 watts of solar panels and the charge controller, which were from Renogy, was £461. Our mains hookup for 230 volt, that was nearly £100. Our Victron Smart Energy
Battery monitor,
that was nearly £200. Our 2000 watt inverter was nearly £300. Split charge relay was nearly £200. There's a common theme here. Our Wi-Fi system, which we absolutely love. Bloody flies! Get a fly net.
A fly net. You can probably see it like flying in front of the
spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a fly net, please. Yeah, our Wi-Fi system is absolutely amazing. That cost us £300. And then like lights, switches, USB ports, cables, wiring, crimping tools, plastic wire casing, came to like 500 quid. And then like there's also, we've got like 3 lights here, 2 lights in the front, 2 reading lights and a light in the bathroom. They all came to about 90 quid altogether. So electrics is one of the most expensive parts of the van build for us, and it came, all that and more came to £4,852.49.
Next is plumbing. So this essentially includes, obviously except for the main cost of the hot water system, which we included in the last section, this includes our Shareflow water pump, which was £56. Water filter. Are you seriously going to try and eat a snack during this? I've clearly not trained him very well, have I?
Hold
on. Water filter, bulb fitting, like £44. We have self-sealing waste valves on the waste from the sink and the waste from the shower so that it doesn't let smells up from the wastewater tank. Those were about 30 quid. Then the big costs, I guess, were the custom tanks that we had made. So they're underslung tanks. We've got 100 litres of fresh water and 80 litres, 75 litres, 80 litres of grey. Both are underslung down this driver's side of the van. So they were just under £300 for him to make them and he fitted them for us. Then we spent an extra £100 on like 12mm. Is it 12mm? Yeah, 12mm pipe, connectors, all that jazz. So in total, our plumbing came to £557. Next section is the bathroom itself. So go on, eat your biscuit. Can hear you rustling.
Come on.
Yeah, the bathroom. So we have the Thetford porta potty toilet, and that was £125. Is that cheaper than what you thought? Eco Camel shower head, £37. Long shower hose, 10. Faucet and like the holder and stuff for the shower was like 30 quid. Then we ordered our PVC paneling for all the walls, so all the waterproof paneling from a company called Wet Wall Works, which is based up in Scotland, because we wanted like a design on them rather than just having white hygiene board. And hygiene board is a lot cheaper, a lot thinner, a lot more flexible, because I think it's only like 3mm thick.
Yeah.
Ours is 8mm, and it's like corrugated on the inside. The bird's being really loud. So, I mean, yeah, there's pros and cons to using both, but we wanted something that had like a design on it. And that wet wall paneling and all like the chrome corner trim, so it all slots together, was £263. And our shower tray was about 80 quid. It's like a plastic large caravan shower tray. Don't know the exact dimensions. But all of that came to £545.61. Kitchen. So the big cost for our kitchen is obviously our fridge. So we have the Isotherm 65 litre Cruise Elegance, I think it's called.
Yep.
And that was £560 on its own. So fridges are really expensive.
It's worth saying as well, this is just a 12 volt compressor fridge, not a 3-way fridge or anything like that. So you can get cheaper fridges, but because we don't have gas, or because we didn't want a 3-way fridge, we wanted one that was low energy draw and still big enough to fit our weekly shopping. So hence why we have this one.
Then the other big cost were our worktops, and that was 150 quid for that. Then we've got our taps. We've got 2 taps, big sink, so that was from eBay, so we managed to get a decent sized sink for only like 25 quid. And then all the cupboard handles, our portable gas stove, 2-ring burner was 70 quid. So all of that stuff altogether was 936 quid. Then I think the final section is the living room.
Cool.
What we call the living room / bedroom / office space. We bought the Lagoon swivel table leg. That's 135 quid. Then the foam for our seat cushions and our mattress was £240 from efoam.co.uk. They're really good company. That came really quick, and you can make custom sizes, custom shapes. You can draw your own shape, give them the dimensions, and they basically they cut each piece. So rather than having to buy one big mattress and then cut it all down, it's all sorted for you. And the flooring we just got, it's like a self-adhesive vinyl flooring. So you just score it and then snap it, and it comes in like little strips. And that was all came to £438, just under. Living room was not the last section. This is the last section. Unexpected costs along the way. So yeah, this is like van maintenance and fixes. So we left the van on the driveway without driving it for too long when it was cold outside. So we had that cost of £210.
Yeah.
We then had a couple of call out charges for green flag. So when we drove up to the Scottish borders to see your family, coolant started pouring out the bottom of the van.
Yeah.
And one of the seals had gone.
Literally just like it was a 4 quid for the seal or something like that. So
that was like 40 quid to get that fixed for the call out charge. And when we were living on a campsite, just before we came away, we again had a call out charge because the battery was dead again, and that was from opening and closing the doors too often. So the central locking system uses loads of battery power from the van.
Who knew?
Didn't know that. Yeah, that was another 40 quid to get them to call out to jumpstart us.
MOT suspension bushels loosened because they were a bit tight at the back. Split charge relay and the electrical wiring, that came to £647.
And that was literally 2 weeks before we came away, wasn't it? Less than.
6th of January.
So you can imagine we were like freaking out.
And then finally as well, we had all of our windows refitted by professionals because the sliding door window had a leak in it.
That was about just over 400 quid for them to come out and do that, and it was like at home service as well, so they came to us. So all of that kind of van maintenance cost throughout the build cost us 1,345 quid. So that was quite a big cost as well.
And we've included that in the total cost as well. So if you don't have problems with your van, that's one thing I think a lot of van build cost videos don't include is like breakdowns and things like that. But for us, that's one of the things that you need to budget for that we hadn't thought about. So something's going to go wrong.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, you've either got money to travel with, or money to live off, or more money to spend on your build towards the end on like finishes and stuff. So better to budget for it than not. And so all in all that costs together, the total for the van itself and the conversion comes to £21,435 ish. It's between 21,500 and 22,000.
Yep, and when you take out the cost of the van, so just the conversion cost, That was just over 14 grand. £14,239.86.
So I hope that was helpful. If you've got any questions or you want to know what products we used, I'll link to we've got like a Google Doc with all the links to the products. I'll put that in the description. And yeah, let us know if you want to know anything else.
Outside of questions and comments. Yeah?
Look, okay guys, we're not professionals at this, we're just trying to help.
Oh really? Not professional? Huh. Could have fooled me, can't you?
We don't pride ourselves on being professional.
But yeah, give us a like and subscribe if you can. It'll be nice.
See you next time!
Bye! Peace out, brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, granddads, grannies.
See what I have to live with.